Hello guys and welcome back to another course of our class about the complete introduction to Forex trading. In today's class we are gonna talk about technical analysis, which is very different from fundamental analysis. So we are gonna see what is it. We are gonna talk about the three things that we are gonna use in this class that will help you learn how to trade a graph and how to trade the Forex the right way by using technical tools. Alright, so let's start. So the first question that we are going to ask ourselves is, what is technical analysis, and what exactly is it? So technical analysis is simply a trading discipline employed to evaluate investments and identify trading opportunities based on the statistical trends and simply on the chart. So what does all this means? That's a bit complicated, sound complicated. It's simply working directly on the chart with the use of technical tools. What are those tools? Well, you can use indicators. You can use price action, as you can see here. You can use support and resistance. You can use Fibonacci. You can use different strategies that are based strictly on a technical point of view of trading, so no fundamental. So this is as I said, this is a technical analysis. So basically we will use three things in this course to be able to perform a technical analysis. The first one will be technical indicators. And to understand what's a technical indicator, it's simply a mathematical calculation that is put directly on, that is presented with an indicator. So let's say, you have different types of indicators. We'll talk about it in next class. But basically it's simply mathematical calculation that tries to identify patterns, that try to identify price movement, and will try to predict you a certain range of price, or if the price is overbought or oversold, or if the price is, for example, in a bear market or in a bull market. So those are that's the goal of indicators, and we'll use them especially to be able to give us entry signal and to be able to take certain trades. So this is for indicators. The second thing will be chart patterns, and chart patterns will be, for example, what's here. It's working directly with the candles, so we'll work with candles, and there are patterns in candles that happens a lot of times, and those patterns can be used to predict if the price will change or if the price will stay the same, and what's gonna happen on the graph, simply by looking at them and spot them. So chart patterns, will be very used in our course. So we'll principally work with indicators, but I will also present you chart patterns and price action. This way you will be able to create your own strategy after that. Last thing will be price action. In this case, you'll see chart patterns and price action. You can put them in the same category. I personally put them in the same category. The only difference is that chart patterns, for me personally, is when you work directly with candles. So for example, you have candles that, you can have two candles that will predict that the price will fall. Some predict that the price will go up. And price action will be really things like, for example, support and resistance, Fibonacci, and all those things that are not necessarily indicators, but directly on the chart. So you will take a chart with no indicators, no fundamentals, nothing. You will put your support, your resistance, and you will work with the chart patterns. You will work with trend lines, and all this can be in chart patterns and price action. Price action will really be like trend lines, support resistances, will be especially all the trend lines and all the points, like let's say strategical points that you can put on a chart. Once again, that's just the introduction. We'll have some live examples in the next few classes. But for now, just for you guys to understand that there is three things that are very important in technical analysis. So as I said, indicators that are mathematical calculations that are used to predict the future price of a certain currency. You have chart patterns, which are the things right here. So those are just some examples. So you have, for example, evening doji star right here, evening star. Those are patterns that will show you that the price will fall. Um, you have different in the chart patterns. You have some that are very reliable, others that are less reliable, and once again, it's all speculation. So the goal here is really to maximize your let's say winning rate, and by using them it can help you. And the last thing will be the price action. And the price action, well, it's, as I said, simply the support, the resistance, the use of trend lines, and other things like this. So that's it for the introduction. Right now you understand all the tools that we are gonna use. Now it's time to use them on a real chart, and that's what we are gonna do in our next classes. So we see you all in our next class, guys.